My friends, I invite you to consider the magnificent truth that has been hidden from you in plain sight. The power of God is not something outside of you residing in the heavens or distant from your current reality. The presence of God within you. And I am here to show you that this inner presence holds the key to transforming your life, to manifesting your desires, and to shaping your destiny according to the deepest desires of your heart. Let us begin with the understanding that we are not merely physical beings living in a world defined by material conditions. No, you are far more than flesh and blood. You are a divine being, an expression of the infinite intelligence that creates all things. This intelligence, this divine force, does not reside outside of you, but within you. It is closer to you than your very breath, more intimate than your thoughts. It is the core of who you truly are. What does it mean to say that the presence of God is within you? It means that you, in your very essence, are endowed with the creative power of the universe. This power is not dormant, waiting for some external circumstance to awaken it. It is alive, active, and always responding to your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The challenge, however, lies in your ability to recognize this power, to acknowledge it, and to harness it deliberately. You have heard it said, as within, so without. This is not merely a poetic phrase, but a profound truth. The reality that you experience, the conditions of your life, the circumstances that surround you, are all reflections of what is happening within you. If you want to change the outer conditions of your life, you must first change the inner conditions of your mind, for the world that you see is nothing more than the mirror of your own consciousness. Consider this: the thoughts you think, the images you hold in your mind, the emotions you nurture, are the seeds that you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And like all seeds, they will grow and bear fruit in your life. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and limitation, you will harvest experiences that reflect those states of mind. But if you plant seeds of love, abundance, and faith, your life will blossom in ways that exceed your wildest dreams. Now you may ask, how do I plant these seeds of faith in abundance? How do I align myself with the presence of God within me and manifest my desires? The answer is simple, yet it requires your full attention and commitment. You must discipline your imagination. Imagination is the key to accessing the divine presence within you. It is through the faculty of imagination that you create reality. Every invention, every great achievement, every advancement in human history began in the imagination of someone who dared to believe in the unseen. Your imagination is the workshop of God, the place where divine ideas take form and become manifest in your life. But to use your imagination effectively, you must first become aware of how you are using it. Are you using your imagination to dwell on what you do not want to replay scenes of fear, worry, and frustration? Are you using it to envision the life you truly desire, to create vivid mental pictures of success, joy, and fulfillment? The choice is yours, and the power to choose is within you. When you close your eyes and imagine the life you wish to live, you are not merely daydreaming. You are engaging in the powerful creative act that you are capable of. In those moments, you are aligning yourself with the presence of God within you. You are impressing your desires upon the subconscious mind, which is the womb of creation, and when these impressions are strong, clear, and consistent, they will be brought forth into physical reality. But you must believe, you must have unwavering faith that what you imagine is already yours. Doubt and fear are the enemies of manifestation. They are the forces that cloud your mind and prevent the divine presence within you from expressing itself fully. Faith, on the other hand, opens the door to infinite possibilities. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, faith is not something you need to acquire from outside of yourself. It is already within you, just as the presence of God is within you. You activate your faith by imagining, by seeing in your mind's eye the reality of your desires already accomplished. Feel it as though it is already real, living the assumption that your wish has been fulfilled, and you will draw it into your experience. You see, the universe does not respond to your desires. It responds to your state of being. If you are in a state of lack, even though you desire abundance, you will continue to experience lack. But if you assume the feeling of abundance, even when the outer conditions of your life do not yet reflect, you will draw abundance to you. The feeling is the secret. The feeling is what activates the presence of God within you and brings your desires into manifestation. It is not enough to simply think about what you want. You must feel it deeply with all the emotion and conviction you can muster. You must live in the assumption that your desire is already a reality. This is the creative act, the act of faith that moves mountains and opens doors that no man can shut. Let me remind you, there is no limit to what you can create when you align yourself with the presence of God within you. The only limits are the ones you impose upon yourself. If you believe that you are limited, that you are not worthy of success, love, or happiness, then that is what you will experience. But if you believe in your own divine power, if you believe that you are worthy of all the good that life has to offer, then the universe will conspire to bring it to you. I urge you, my friends, to let go of the limiting beliefs that have held you back for so long. Release the fear, the doubt, the feelings of unworthiness, and step into your true power. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of reality. The presence of God is within you, and it is through this presence that you can manifest anything you desire. Now, I know that for many of you, this may seem like a radical idea. You have been taught to believe that power lies outside of you, that you must wait for some external force to grant you the things you desire. But I am here to tell you that this is not true. You are not a beggar at the door of the universe hoping for a few crumbs of happiness. You are a co-creator with the divine, and the power to create is within you. Begin today by turning your attention inward. Recognize the presence of God within you and honor it with your thoughts, your feelings, and your imagination. Be deliberate in the use of your mind, for it is to your mind that you create your world. Do not allow the outer circumstances of your life to dictate your inner state. Instead, allow your inner state to dictate the outer circumstances of your life. When you wake up in the morning, before you even rise from your bed, take a few moments to imagine the day ahead as you wish it to be. See yourself moving through your day with ease, joy, and success. Feel the emotions of gratitude, love, and confidence as though everything you desire is already yours, and then carry that feeling with you throughout the day, no matter what challenges may arise. When doubts and fears creep into your mind, and do not fight them. Simply acknowledge them and then gently turn your attention back to the presence of God within you. Remind yourself that you are the creator of your reality and that nothing outside of you has the power to dictate your experience. We often look outside ourselves for answers, for meaning, and for purpose. We are conditioned to believe that the divine is something distant, external, and beyond our grasp, whether it's through religious teaching, societal norms, or our upbringing. Many of us have been led to think that God, or the ultimate creative power of the universe, resides somewhere out there, far removed from our daily lives and concerns. We may have been taught to pray to a distant deity hoping for mercy, for guidance, or for intervention, but the truth is far more profound, far more personal. The presence of God is not something outside of. It is within you, and this truth is transformative once fully understood and embraced. What does it mean to say that the presence of God is you? Means that you as an individual carrying within you the same creative energy that brought the universe into being. This energy, this force is not confined to the heavens or some spiritual realm far beyond your current experience. It is alive and active within your very being. It is the essence of who you truly are. It is not separate from you. It is you. This presence is the source of all that is. It is the intelligence that forms the stars, that governs the seasons, that brings life into being, and it resides within you. To recognize this truth is to understand that you are not merely a passive observer in life, subject to the winds of fate or external circumstances. You are in fact a participant in the divine creative process. You have within you the same creative power that shapes worlds, and it is through your awareness and your consciousness that this power is expressed. The presence of God within you is not something that can earned or acquired, is not dependent upon your status, your wealth, your achievements, or even your religious beliefs. It is an inherent part of your being. You were born with it, and it will remain with you for all eternity. This presence is the very breath of life, the animating force that gives rise to your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. It is the source of your creativity, your intuition, and your inspiration. But for many of us, this presence lies dormant, unrecognized, and unappreciated. We go through life feeling disconnected, disempowered, and lost, not realizing that the key to everything we seek is already within us. We have been looking in the wrong places, seeking fulfillment in material possessions, in external relationships, in the approval of others, when the true source of our power and our joy resides within our own consciousness. To tap into this divine presence within you, you must first become aware of it. This awareness begins with a shift in perception. Instead of seeing yourself as separate from the divine, as a small and insignificant being in a vast and indifferent universe, you must begin to see yourself as an integral part of the divine whole. Come to understand that the presence of God is not something to be sought after or attained, but something to be realized and acknowledged. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate this awareness is through the practice of stillness. In the silence of your own mind, free from the distractions and noise of the outside world, you can begin to sense the presence of the divine within you. It is in moments of quiet reflection that you can tune into the subtle yet profound energy that animates all of life. This presence is not loud or forceful. It does not demand your attention, but it is always there waiting for you to recognize it. As you become more attuned to this inner presence, you will begin to notice its influence in your life. You will start to see how it guides you, how it inspires you, how it provides you with the strength and clarity you need to navigate the challenges of life. You will come to understand that the answers to your deepest questions do not lie outside of you, but within you. The presence of God within you is your source of wisdom, your source of power, and your source of peace. But recognizing this presence is only the first step. The next step is to align yourself with it, to consciously choose to live in harmony with the divine power within you. This requires a shift in how you think, how you feel, and how you fade. It requires you to let go of the limiting beliefs that have kept you small, to release the fear and doubt that have clouded your vision, and to step into the fullness of who you truly are. When you align yourself with the presence of God within you, you begin to live from a place of faith rather than fear. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as a co-creator of your reality. You recognize that you have the power to shape your life according to your highest vision and your deepest desires. You begin to trust in the divine intelligence that flows through you, knowing that it will guide you to where you need to be and provide you with everything you need along the way. This alignment is not something that happens overnight. It is a process, a journey of self-discovery and self-mastery. But as you continue to cultivate this awareness and this alignment, you will begin to experience the transformative power of the presence of God within you. You will see how your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions influence the circumstances of your life. You will come to understand that you are not separate from the divine, but an expression of it. This simple phrase contains within it a profound truth. Your inner state creates your reality. The outer conditions of your life, the people, events, and circumstances that you experience are all reflections of your inner state of being. In other words, the world around you is a mirror of what is happening within you. This truth can be difficult to accept, especially when we are faced with challenges or difficulties in our lives. It is tempting to blame external circumstances, to point the finger at others, or to believe that we are victims of fate. But when we truly understand that our outer reality is a reflection of our inner state, we realize that we have far more power and control over our lives than we may have previously thought. You see, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, and the beliefs you hold create the vibrational frequency that radiates out into the universe. This frequency attracts experiences, people, and circumstances that are in alignment with it. If you are constantly thinking thoughts of black fear and limitation, you will attract experiences that reflect those states of mind. But if you are thinking thoughts of abundance, love, and possibility, you will attract experiences that align with those higher frequencies. The outer world is not separate from your inner world. It is a direct reflection of it. This means that if you want to change your outer reality, you must first change your inner state. You cannot expect to attract abundance, success, or love into your life if your mind is filled with thoughts of scarcity, failure, or unworthiness. The outer world will always mirror back to you what you are projecting from within. This is why it is so important to take responsibility for your inner state. You must become aware of the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that are shaping your reality. You must ask yourself, what am I focusing on? What am I giving my attention to? Am I dwelling on what I don't want, or am I focusing on what I do want? Am I nurturing thoughts of fear and doubt, or am I cultivating thoughts of faith and possibility? Your inner state is like a garden, and your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the seeds you plant. If you plant seeds of negativity, fear, and doubt, you will grow a garden of weeds. But if you plant seeds of love, faith, and abundance, You will grow a garden of beauty and prosperity. The choice is yours and the power to choose is always within you. Now you may be wondering, how do I change my inner state? How do I shift from a state of fear and lack to a state of faith and abundance? The answer lies in your awareness and your imagination. You must become aware of the thoughts and beliefs that are creating your current reality. And then use your imagination to a new reality. Imagination is the most powerful tool you have for transforming your inner state. When you close your eyes and imagine the life you want to live, you are not just daydreaming. You are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just like any seed, these images and feelings will grow and manifest in your outer reality. But imagination alone is not enough. You must also feel the emotions associated with your desired reality. You must feel as though your desire has already been fulfilled. This is the key to changing your inner state. When you feel the emotions of joy, gratitude, and love as though your desire is already a reality, you are aligning yourself with the vibrational frequency of that reality. And when your inner state is aligned with your desire, the outer world will reflect it back to you. It is important to remember that this process is not about forcing or controlling the outer world. You cannot manipulate external circumstances to create the life you want. Instead, you must focus on changing your inner state, trusting that the outer world will naturally reflect the shifts you make within. Imagination is a force more powerful than most of us realize. It is the very foundation of every creation in your life, the space where all your dreams, desires, and visions take root before they manifest into reality. Whether consciously or unconsciously, you are always using your imagination to create your world. Every invention, every achievement, every great work of art, and every success story began in someone's mind as an image, a vision of what could be, and then it was brought into existence. Imagination is the workshop where the raw material of your thoughts, desires, and emotions is shaped into the tangible experiences of your life. The ability to imagine is one of the greatest gifts you have been given. It is the tool through which you can create the life you want. The bridge between the invisible world of thoughts and the visible world of physical reality. When you understand how to use your imagination properly, you can transform every aspect of your life, whether it's your career, relationships, health, or personal happiness. The possibilities are limitless because imagination is limitless. Many people underestimate the power of their imagination because they do not realize its significance in the process of creation. They think of imagination as mere fantasy, a place where dreams remain distant and unattainable. However, the reality is far different. Everything that exists in your world first existed as an idea in someone's imagination. From the technology we use to the buildings we live in, from the literature that inspires us to the clothes we wear, every single thing began as a concept formed in the mind. You may think, but how does imagination lead to the actual manifestation of my desires? The answer lies in understanding that imagination is not separate from reality. It is the precursor to reality. When you engage in the act of imagining, you are impressing images and feelings onto your subconscious mind, which then takes those impressions and expresses them outwardly as circumstances and events in your life. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It simply accepts whatever you consistently focus on as the truth and works to bring it into your experience. In this way, imagination is the workshop of creation. It is where you design the blueprint for your life, and like any workshop, the quality of the output depends on the tools you use and the effort you put into it. If you allow your imagination to run wild with thoughts of fear, doubt, and limitation, you will create a life that reflects those qualities. But if you use your imagination with purpose, filling it with visions of success, abundance, enjoy, your life will take shape according to those images. One of the most powerful aspects of imagination is that it allows you to live in the future you desire, even if your present circumstances do not yet reflect it. This is key to the process of creation. By imagining your ideal life with vivid detail and emotional intensity, you begin to shift your inner state of being. You begin to feel as if your dreams are already realized, and this shift in consciousness is what brings about external changes in your reality. It is not enough to simply think about what you want in a vague or passive way. You must engage your imagination with intention and conviction. You must see yourself living the life you desire as if it is happening right now. Imagine every detail, what it looks like, what it feels like, how you will interact with the world. Once you have achieved your goal, The more vividly you can imagine it, the more real it becomes in your inner world, and the more powerfully it will manifest in your outer world. Imagination, when used properly, is not about escaping reality, but about creating it. It allows you to transcend your current limitations and tap into a higher state of consciousness where anything is possible. To imagination, you can access new ideas, new perspectives, and new solutions to old problems. You can envision a future that is greater than your past and begin to bring that future into being. The key to using your imagination effectively is persistence. You must persist in your vision even when the outer world shows no signs of change. Too often people give up on their dreams because they do not see immediate results. But manifestation takes time, and the outer world always lags behind the inner world. Just because something hasn't appeared in your life yet doesn't mean it isn't on its way. The more you persist in your imagination, the more momentum you build, and eventually your outer reality will catch up with your inhibition. This persistence in imagination is an act of faith. You are trusting that what you are creating in your mind will eventually become your reality, and this brings us to the second key point. Faith activates the power of manifestation. Faith is the substance that gives life to your imagination. Without faith, imagination remains a mere fantasy, a fleeting thought with no real impact on your life. But when faith is combined with imagination, it activates the power of manifestation. It is faith that turns your visions into reality. That takes the unseen and makes it seem. Faith is not just a vague belief in something greater. It is a deep inner knowing that what you imagine and desire is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it. Faith is the certainty that what you envision in your mind is as real as anything in the physical world, and it is this certainty that sets the creative process in motion. Misunderstood as something passive, I hope that things will work out if we wait long enough or pray hard enough. But true faith is an active force. It is the assurance that what you desire is already in existence, even if it is not yet materialized in the physical world. This assurance allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that your desires will manifest in their own time and in their own way. When you combine faith with imagination, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are saying, I know that what I am imagining is possible, and I trust that it will come to. This trust is what allows you to stay focused on your mission, even when circumstances seem to contradict it. Faith gives you the strength to persist in your imagination, to hold on to your vision, and to continue moving forward, even when the outer world offers no immediate evidence that your desires are being fulfilled. It is important to understand that faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking. It is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect when it clearly isn't. Faith is grounded in the understanding that reality is not fixed, that it is constantly shifting and evolving in response to your inner state. It is knowing that what you focus on in your mind will eventually manifest in your outer world as long as you remain aligned with that vision. Faith also involves letting go of the how too often people get caught up in trying to figure out how their desires will come to pass. They become fixated on the details, trying to control every step of the process, and in doing so, they block the natural flow of creation. But faith requires you to release the need for control. It asks you to trust that the universe will take care of the how as long as you stay focused on what the end result you desire. When you have faith, you are not concerned with how things will happen or when they will happen. You know that they will happen, and that is enough. This allows you to relax, to let go worry and doubt, and to enjoy the process of creation. Faith frees you from the need to constantly check for signs of progress or to second-guess your vision. It gives you the peace of mind to continue imagining your desired reality with confidence, knowing that it will unfold in perfect timing. Faith also has a magnetic quality. When you have faith in your vision, you attract the people, opportunities, and resources needed to bring that vision into reality. You begin to notice synchronicities, chance encounters, and unexpected events that align with your desire. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of your faith drawing those elements into your life. The universe responds to your faith by orchestrating the circumstances necessary to bring your vision to fruition. But faith is not just about waiting for things to happen. It is about taking inspired action. When you have faith in your vision, you are motivated to take the steps necessary to bring it into reality. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are co-creating with the universe. Faith gives you the courage to act, even when the path ahead is unclear. It empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step you take is leading you closer to your desired outcome. In this way, faith is the driving force behind manifestation. It is what turns your imagination into reality. What transforms your visions into experiences. Without faith, your desires remain distant and unattainable. But with faith, you can bring anything you imagine into existence. To cultivate faith, you must practice seeing beyond your current circumstances. You must train your mind to focus on what you want rather than what you don't. You must learn to trust in the unseen, to believe in the power of your imagination, and to know that the universe is always working in your favor. At the core of everything we experience, whether positive or negative, there exists a powerful force, emotion. Feelings shape our reality in ways that are deeper and more profound than we often realize. We have all heard the saying, "You attract what you feel," but understanding the magnitude of this statement is essential to creating a life aligned with our desires. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, and every word you speak is accompanied by a feeling. This feeling is not just a feeling reaction to your thoughts, but the driving force that gives those thoughts the power to create. Feelings are what give life to your desires and intentions. You can think positive thoughts all day. You can imagine success, happiness, or love. But if those thoughts are not accompanied by the corresponding feelings, they remain hollow. It is the feeling behind the thought that makes it resonate in your subconscious mind, influencing your perception and shaping the reality you experience. Emotions are not merely responses to external circumstances. They are the very energy that creates those circumstances. When you feel a strong emotion, whether it is joy, love, anger, or fear, that emotion sends a signal to the universe, a signal that is matched by similar energy and experiences. This is why it seems that when you are in a good mood, everything seems to go well, and when you are in a bad mood, things only seem to get worse. Your outer world is simply reflecting back the emotional frequency that you are emitting. Feelings are magnetic. They have the power to attract circumstances, people, and events that are in harmony with them. If you are constantly feeling stressed, anxious, or fearful, you are vibrating at a frequency that will attract more of the same into your life. On the other hand, when you feel joyful, peaceful, and abundant, you will attract experiences that match those emotions. It does not distinguish between good or bad feelings. It only responds to the energy you are sending out. Consider for a moment how you feel when you think about your dreams and desires. Do you feel excited, inspired, and hopeful? Or do you feel doubtful, anxious, or discouraged? These feelings are the key indicators of what you are attracting into your life. If you are feeling positive emotions, you are in alignment with your desires and you are moving toward their manifestation. But if your dominant feelings are negative, you are out of alignment and you are likely to experience delays, obstacles, or the absence of what you truly want. Feelings also serve as a guide showing you where you are in relation to your desires. When you feel good, you are in a state of flow, moving in the direction of your dreams. When you feel bad, it is a signal that you are resisting or blocking the natural flow of creation. This is why it is so important to pay attention to your emotions. They are the compass that points you toward your highest good. One of the most powerful aspects of feelings is that they are not bound by time. You do not have to wait for your desires to manifest before you can feel the emotions associated with them. In fact, the opposite is true. You must first feel the emotions of having your desires fulfilled, and then the external manifestation will follow. This is the essence of the law of attraction. You must feel it to see it. For example, if you desire abundance, it is not enough to simply think about abundance. You must feel abundant even if your current financial situation does not reflect it. You must generate the feeling of wealth or freedom of security as if you already have all the resources you need. When you consistently feel abundant, you attract more abundance into your life. Similarly, if you desire love, you must feel love within yourself before you can attract it from others. If you desire success, you must feel successful, confident, and empowered even before the external evidence appears. The challenge, of course, is that many of us are conditioned to let our feelings be dictated by our external circumstances. We look at what is happening in our lives, the money in our bank account, the state of our relationships, the success of our career, and we base our emotions on those conditions. If things are going well, we feel good. These things are not going well. We feel bad. But this approach keeps us stuck in a reactive state, always at the mercy of external events. To truly harness the power of your feelings, you must reverse this process. Instead of letting your outer reality determine how you feel, you must let your inner state of being create your outer reality. This means consciously choosing to feel the emotions that align with your desires, regardless of what is happening around you. It means generating the feeling of joy, love, peace, and abundance, even if your current circumstances do not seem to support it. This is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect when it isn't. It is about recognizing that your feelings are a creative force, and that by choosing how you feel you are shaping your reality. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You have the power to shift your emotional state at any moment, and in doing so you change the energy that you are sending out into the world. One way to consciously shift your feelings is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can cultivate because it instantly raises your vibration and aligns you with the frequency of abundance. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you activate feelings of joy, love, and appreciation, which attract more of those qualities into your life. Even if you are facing challenges or difficulties, there is always something to be grateful for. By shifting your focus to the positive aspects of your life, you change your emotional state and begin to attract more positive experiences. Another way to shift your feelings is through visualization. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself living the life you desire, you generate the feelings associated with that reality. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. So when you visualize your desired outcome with strong emotion, you create the same feelings as if it were already happening. This process not only shifts your emotional state in the present moment, but also sets in motion the forces that will bring your vision into reality. Ultimately, your feelings are the fuel that drives the engine of creation. They are what give power to your thoughts, intentions, and desires. When you learn to consciously direct your emotions, you gain mastery over your reality. You are no longer a passive observer reacting to whatever life throws at you. Instead, you become an active participant in the creation of your life, shaping your experiences according to the emotions you choose to cultivate. There is no greater truth than this. You are the creator of your experience. The life you are living right now in all its complexity is a direct reflection of the choices you have made, the beliefs you hold, and the feelings you have cultivated. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you cling to contributes to the reality you experience. You are not a victim of circumstance, and you are not at the mercy of external forces. You are the one who shapes your world moment by moment through the power of your consciousness. This may seem like a radical idea, especially if you have been taught to believe that life happens to you rather than through you. But when you truly understand that you are the creator of your experience, you realize that you have far more power and control over your life than you may have previously thought. You are not a passive recipient of whatever fate or chance throws you away. You are an active participant in the unfolding of your destiny. The creative process begins with your thoughts. Every thought you think is a seed that you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Some of these seeds are planted consciously, while others are planted unconsciously. But every thought has the potential to grow and manifest in your life, depending on how much attention and energy you give it. Your thoughts are like the blueprint for the life you are building. If you think thoughts of abundance, success, and joy, you are laying the foundation for a life that reflects those qualities. But if your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, and limitation, you are building a life that reflects those negative states of mind. The key is to become aware of the thoughts you are thinking and to consciously choose thoughts that align with the reality you want to create. But thoughts alone are not enough to create your experience. It is your beliefs that give power and substance to your thoughts. A belief is simply a thought that you have repeated over and over again until it has become ingrained in your subconscious mind. Once a belief is established, it acts as a filter through which you interpret your experiences and make decisions. Your beliefs shape your perception of reality, and they influence the choices you make. If you believe that life is hard, that success is difficult to achieve, or that you are not worthy of love or abundance, those beliefs will create a reality that mirrors them. But if you believe that life is abundant, that success is your birthright, and that you are worthy of all the good that life has to offer, you will create a reality that reflects those beliefs. Your beliefs are like the foundation of a house. They determine the structure and shape of your life. To change experience, you must first change your beliefs. This requires a process of introspection and self-awareness. You must examine the beliefs you hold in question, whether they are serving you or limiting. Are your beliefs aligned with the life you want to create, or are they keeping you stuck in patterns of lack and limitation? Once you identify the beliefs that are holding you back, you can begin to replace them with new, empowering beliefs that support the reality you want to create. But even beliefs are not the final word in the creative process. Your emotions, as we discussed earlier, play a crucial role in shaping your experience. You can think positive thoughts and hold empowering beliefs, but if your emotions are not aligned with those thoughts and beliefs, you will struggle to create the reality you desire. It is your feelings that give energy and momentum to your thoughts and beliefs. When your emotions are in harmony with your intentions, you become a powerful creator of your experience. Finally, action is the last piece of the creative puzzle. Wild thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the foundation of creation. It is through action that you bring your desires into physical reality. In conclusion, the power to shape your life lies entirely within you. Your imagination, feelings, beliefs, and actions all play a vital role in creating the reality you experience. The presence of the divine creative force is not something external, but something that resides within you, always accessible and ready to be harnessed. When you align your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the life you desire, you become an active participant in the process of creation. You are not at the mercy of external circumstances, but rather you are the creator of your own experience. By recognizing and embracing this truth, you can transform your reality and manifest the life you truly desire. It all begins within, and the possibilities are endless. This is the same point we want to make to you. You can't turn that river off. You cannot hold yourself against the current of what life has caused you to become. And when you try, you don't feel good. And when you let go, you feel ever so much better. So let's go. Some things you want to talk about. Good. So much you want to talk about. You must understand that this gathering happened before you dragged your physical bodies here. That your life has caused you to send forth your rockets. The source within you has met those rockets, and the answers to everything that you want are all queued up for you. So this will be a magnificent unfolding. We want you to know that it doesn't matter where you are. You can put your boat in the stream any place. It doesn't matter. You might be putting your boat in the stream at sickness. You might be putting your boat in the stream at not enough money. You might be putting your boat in the stream at brink of a financial disaster or brink of a marital disruption. You could be putting your boat in the stream with physical sickness that you are experiencing or your awareness of someone else. In other words, there are all kinds of reasons that you feel the way you do. Wherever you're putting your boat in the stream, it does not matter, because in every single case the stream is moving toward the improvement that you seek. The stream is moving toward the solution to the problem. It's moving toward the answer to the question. It's moving to the becoming of who you are. The stream is undeniable. It is always moving, and it won't stop moving toward that which you are. So it doesn't matter where you are. In fact, we think it is very helpful to realize that you are where you are relative to any subject of importance to you. And if you can sort of make peace with where you are, there's this thing that happens to you as you put your boat in the stream mentally. If you say, all right, the stream is flowing, and it's going to be all right, there is an automatic releasing of resistance and a turning and moving toward improvement. But if you put your boat in the stream with the attitude, I'm not where I should be, you automatically turn upstream. If you put your boat in the stream and say, I should have known better upstream, you go, I should do better upstream. You go. Even if you put your boat in the stream and you say, I'm going to try really hard upstream, you go. Feel the difference between, I have a sickness and I'm going to find a way to heal myself upstream. upstream, upstream. And I am where I am. My physical body isn't where I want it to be, but it's going to get better. Or I am where I am, and I want things to be better. Feel the difference between I'm going to make this happen upstream, and I'm going to allow the resources of the universe to help me work this out downstream. Problem on one of the sticks, solution on the other. Which way are you pointed? Which way are you feeling for? And so many of you, for some reason or another, have become so defensive in your competitive feeling of those who surround you that it seems as if you need to defend why you want something by pointing out the perils of not having it. And that is the biggest trap that we see happening, especially in your culture today. In your culture today, you have no legitimate excuse for negative emotion. Well-being is abounding in such significant proportion to not well-being that you really have to reach hard to find things to focus negatively upon in terms of the scope of the world. And yet it seems to be the orientation because you've sort of been trained by your mother or father who you thought was the resource through which all of your good flowed. That unless you plead a needy case, they won't give up the goods. You're not pleading your needy case to the universe. You're simply extracting from the variety your choice of what you prefer. And the source energy immediately becomes the vibrational equivalent of your preference. And if you're not living it in full-blown manifestation, it's only because what's active within you is something other than your preference. You must be talking about something other than what you want, or you would be living everything that you want. If you begin to understand that your work is to make it an emotional journey, let your journey to your financial fortune be an emotional journey, not an action journey. So how does that play out? Well, that plays out that you imagine it and you pretend it, and you feel good about it, or you even hope it. But you just can't keep saying it's not working. It's not working. It's not working without turning around and going in the opposite direction. You've got to find a way to keep pointed in the right direction. And your emotions are that indicator. So in every moment, you've got two emotions. One feels one way and one feels slightly better. In other words, one feels good, one feels bad. If you will look at it in that way, sometimes people will say, Wayne, I can't tell the difference on this. And we say, then keep focusing upon it until it becomes strong enough that you can feel it. Emotions will always give you guidance. And when you decide to let yourself be guided by your emotion, now you quantify your journey. And now people who are watching you, who haven't caught on to what your magic is, will notice that things are manifesting faster for you. But what they will notice first is you seem irrationally joyful anyway. How's it going? They'll say, great. Oh, did you get that job? No, it's coming. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. No, really seriously. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. Well, did someone call you? No. Did you get the second interview? No. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. Well, how do you know that it's coming? That's the big question. How do you know it's coming when the physical evidence is to the contrary? How do you know? I know law of attraction, and I know how I've been feeling. And I know that there's not a shred of evidence to the contrary of it. I know that when I feel this way, things are moving in the direction I've been here before. I felt this way that one other time and it panned out well. In other words, you can let loose of all of the evidence that is to the contrary when you know the law, and the law says that which is likened to itself is drawn. And what it means is the vibration that you are emanating is being matched, and the evidence is soon to follow. You live in this wonderful environment where there is a buffer of time, and that buffer of time says it's not going to manifest in the first moment you thought it. And friends, that's a very, very good thing. Because until you get really good at directing thought, you don't want every thought that you think to manifest. But from a non-physical standpoint in the stability of source, From the perspective where worlds are created, when you leading edge genius, worthy person out here, on the leading edge of your experience, live something which causes you to delicately, infinitely, specifically identify something that you would prefer for you. Source says you ought to know, consider it done, and becomes a perfect vibrational match to it. And in that moment calls you to it. And when you hear the call, even if it's rage, you're moving in the right direction. Nothing is more important than the way you feel. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, our mantra would be nothing is more important than that. I feel good, and I would modify that by saying nothing is more important than that. I feel good, and today from where I stand, I'm going to do the best job I can of finding the best feeling thought that I can find from where I am. Not the best thought I've ever thought. Not the best feeling thought I've ever found. Not the best thought anybody has ever thought. Only the best feeling thought I can find from where I am. And as you care about that and you find an improved thought, you'll find another and another and another. Because you do it on one subject, you'll be able to do it on another and another and another and another. And the more you do it, subject after subject, the more you clean up your vibration until you become so expectant of good things to come to you. You know people like that, don't you? They offer a thought with calm and ease. They don't struggle about it. They don't work nearly hard enough in your estimation. And things just go their way. How can that be? Because there's no contradiction in their vibration. So then you say, okay, suppose I play your silly game and I clean up my vibration. What do I do about all of those other people that are up close to me in my life who aren't having any of it? And we say, then the world is treating them the way they vibrate, and the world is treating you the way you vibrate. And you say, yes, but this person's in my world. And we say, give your attention to the most positive aspects of that person. And that's the part of that person that will be in your world. Well, where would the rest of that person go? The rest of that person will rendezvous with honorary toads at work, people who flip each other off in traffic. You get to the point where you begin to recognize that everything that comes to you is coming in response to something that you're doing. Do you know that there are diseases that are vibrational matches to fear, and there are diseases that are vibrational matches to frustration? And we got to tell you, you want this one? Not this one. Do you know that there are traffic accidents that are vibrational matches to despair and total disempowerment? And there are traffic accidents that are matches to frustration. And there are traffic accidents that are matching anger. And there are the absence of traffic accidents that match appreciation. In other words, everything that comes to you matches where your average vibration is on those subjects. See how it works? Everything that comes to you is evidence of your vibration. So the first thing we want to say to you is, if you begin to pay attention to the way you feel, you will have pre-manifestational awareness. And we want you to understand that you get to choose how close up you get to everything. And when you start moving yourself in the direction of what you want, you feel a desire to embrace the manifestations that are showing themselves to you. Because each manifestation is a little better than the last. That's how you tell if you're going in the right direction. Each manifestation is a little better than the last good. We think you've got that. There is great love here for you, and as always, we remain joyfully in your vortex.